you'll get this access controls. And under access controls, you are having authentication method, users, and roles.
Okay.
So for getting access to Splunk instance, you'll need to a Splunk user account. You should have a Splunk user account and assignment to one or more Splunk roles. So as I said you earlier, we can map the role to the group for specific index. They also want different index. Then I can also map another role to that specific group. So n number of roles can be added to a group, a single group. And users, if you are creating something in Splunk directly, if you want to, previously what I said, if a group is created that has to be approved by a manager, then that will be getting added in Active Directory. But when you are creating a group in Splunk, or when you are adding a specific user in Splunk, it will show me that a native Splunk account. Instead of LDAP, it will show me Splunk.
Okay.
It will come in the further scripts modules. Scripted access to PAM radius or other user account systems. There are different ways. One by one, he'll be showing us now. Now, if you see, mainly in Splunk, we are having 3 roles: admin, power, user. So admin means all the capabilities will be there. Power user is nothing but a little more privileges than user. So user will be having only read access, but power can be having not only read access, he can read everything. He can create alerts. First main thing is he can create alerts, but when you give access to users, he can only read the indexes. But you can also change the privileges to user, but usually will not do. And can delete is nothing but it is a separate role which can be assigned to admin. Admin will also not come with can delete privileges, but if you want something to be deleted, then you have to add can delete role to admin. And the Splunk system role, it is nothing but system services, special role that allows system services to run without a defined user context. You no need to there is nothing with Splunk system role, but if some other users, or if there are users, or there are some system established scheduled searches or reports running in the backend. So if you want to check which user is running that, then you'll get a Splunk system role there.
So you need a Splunk system role in order to know what services are running?
Not specifically services.
Or to allow services to run, they have to assign a system role?
We no need to assign anything for this system, Splunk system role. It is coming by default.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, and whatever here you are seeing, these are all the default roles only.
Okay.
If you want to create a new role with specific privileges,
okay. Okay.
Then you can add here.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Now here he has given, see how to if you are clicking on this settings, you'll get this authentication method, users and roles, if you see this box.
Yes.
And in the next page, he clicked on roles, access controls, roles. If you see here, we are having option to create new. Okay. And in the next slide, the new page appeared, the role name. You have to provide a role name and the default application. The default application will be search and reporting, but if you want to change it, you can change the default app. What is the default app is like when you first log into Splunk, it will open a page. So if you are giving search and reporting, it will directly open a bar to search something. But if you give a different default name, it will directly open that application when you first log into Splunk. This is optional. You no need to give the default app, but if the users have any specifications to open an app, then you can provide the default application. Restrict search terms. You can also restrict the search terms. That means if they are searching something that is not required for them, but they are still searching that, so you can restrict that particular search terms, so that if they search also, they'll not get any results. And restrict search time range -1. -1 usually indicates infinity, I think. This is related to time window, the time range, what they are searching for, how much time period they are searching. It can be also overridden, but it is not required. Usually we will give all these search restrictions by default settings, whatever it is present, we'll leave them, but definitely we'll be adding a specific capabilities or the index, what they really want to search. Only these two are important. And the role name, because the role name, whatever you are giving, that has to be mapped to a group. If you see here, the role name is mandatory. Star he has given. That means it is mandatory. You should definitely define a role name. And you can leave all this by default. Splunk will be taking. And if you see user level and role level limits, it is nothing. We can limit the jobs. That means admin can search n number of searches, n number of searches in Splunk. But if the user is also doing the same thing, the memory consumption will be more. So what we are doing is like we are restricting searches for users. What in my organization they did is they have restricted the user searches to only 3. That means they cannot search more than 3.
At like
they cannot. They cannot run. No, not at the same time in a day. Only 3, because by only 3 means usually users will be having dashboards. Whatever the data they want, they'll be seeing everything in a dashboard. So there is not a requirement, or there is not a necessary for them to search any search query separately. So that is the reason only 3 is provided. But and also memory allocated for specific users are also very less. It will be only 100 MB.
Okay.
If they want anything, or if every day they'll be creating a report, or they'll ask admins to schedule a report, so that they can get the results in their mail itself.
Okay.
And this is also best practice for limiting the searches. If you see the last line, total jobs disk quota.
Where? I don't see that. Total, where does it say? In the right side?
Last, now you can see, I think.
Okay, so enter the total disks. No, enter the maximum number.
No, below that.
Enter the total disk space in MB that can be used by user search jobs. So the disk space, okay, the total disk space. So can be used by the user search jar. For example, 100 MB would limit this role to 100 MB total. Okay.
Yeah. So for users only 100 MB, they cannot search beyond it.
Otherwise, like they will put too much load on the system.
Yeah, definitely our system will be getting slow and performance will be degraded when other users are trying to search anything.
Okay.
So usually we'll not encourage users to work on search hits more and more. We'll ask them what they actually require, and we will create dashboards or reports based on the requirements.
Okay.
Because the users will also not know how to search. What they'll do is like whatever the data they see in specific events, they'll go and search it without giving proper index is equal to or some source type is equal to. They'll never use with index is equal to. They'll direct give a single word and they'll search it. If you search like that, what will happen means sorry, if you search sorry, if you search something without giving index is equal to abc, or some we are having index is equal to abc and the user is not searching with index is equal to abc, but he is giving some word from the event like with some name he is searching in the search bar. So what Splunk will do, Splunk has to search that word from all the index data, whatever the index is present in Splunk. So it is a burden to Splunk and the performance will be slow at that time. That is the reason we are limiting some searches, and we are also guiding users how to make a search query and how to search in Splunk.
Okay.
Yeah, and describing role inheritance. This is nothing but, as I said, we'll be providing user role to user. If you want to add any additional roles also, you can give it. Here the first table after this optional user level and role level limits is inheritance. Inheritance defines the roles. It provides us to add a role in a new role, and it will show all the available roles here.
Okay.
And you can add one or more roles as discussed. You can give n number of roles, but if you don't want to add any inheritance, you no need to give anything. You can keep it as blank.
Okay.
So implications of inheritance, same as I said, if you create a new role that inheritance from another role such as user, you can add a new role in the existing role, or in the existing role you can add a different role. It can be inherited. The new role has all the capabilities of the inherited role. So whatever the role you are adding to a new role, it will be picking up all the capabilities and all the access related things from the old role to the new role. It is inherited. I think you are getting this.
Yes.
Okay. The new role inherits the index settings, both default and LR. So here what he has given is whatever the roles you are adding, or whatever the capabilities you are adding to the existing one, and also you are adding a old role, and whatever the capabilities and access related things or indexes the old role is having, all the things will be added up in the new role.
Okay.
That is what he has explained in all these points. And if you see, if you want a role is like user but with some capabilities turned off, so you want a user role but you don't want all the capabilities whatever the user is having, then what you have to do, then you need to create a new role, and then you need to add all the capabilities which user is having, and you can also remove the capabilities of the user which you don't want. That means what he is telling you, see, for example, uh, I want to create a role. I want to create a Splunk role. I'll name the role as Splunk. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
And I'm creating a role called Splunk, and I'm already having a user role. But now what I should do? I want only some capabilities from user, but not all the capabilities. So at the time I cannot add the user role to my Splunk role because I want only few capabilities. And if you add user, I'll get all the capabilities from user. So I don't want that to be happen. So what I'll do now, I'll open the user role and I'll see what all the capabilities it is having. Then I'll add only few capabilities which are required in my new role. Yeah, that is what he told. And it turns on all the same capabilities in user except those you wanted to turn off as an appropriate index to the new role. So if you want any specific requirement to a specific index, then I'll add only that specific index which can be viewed by the requesters.
Okay.
And if you see capabilities, initially we have seen how we can add inheritance, but now it is showing this capabilities. If you see the capabilities under inheritance, you are having the capabilities. If you see the right big box, it is coming up like this. And the second box is related to capabilities. Capabilities is nothing but separate. I'll tell you one example. In the capabilities, initially we have added inherited roles, but now in the capabilities, for example, user want to view only some database application. He has to create some connection. He has to create some connection in database application. So what we know, only admins is having privileges to work on each and every app in Splunk. But now I want to provide that specific SplunkDB Connect app and the specific capability of creating role to a specific user. At that time, I'll go into capabilities and I'll search for DB. Is if there is any available capability related to DB Connect app. So I'll get some capabilities related to DB Connect app. Then I'll provide that access to a role. That means I'll add the selected capabilities. If you see here, you have to select it from left side available capabilities. You should click on that, then that will be added up in the selected capabilities. Then I'll add the DB related capability so that the user can access or he can create the connection without any issues. And the same thing for lookups. If usually users will not have access to create a lookup, but I'll add the capability in such a way that I'll provide them lookup related capability so that he can create a lookup. So these are about capabilities. Whatever the capability or Splunk is designed in such a way that in Splunk, whatever the settings are present, everything is present in the capabilities. So we can provide access to users if they really need, or we should get some justification from a user why they require it. So later you can provide the capabilities or role as required, because for each and every user we cannot provide all these capabilities unless and until there is proper business justification, or if they don't want any help from admin.
Okay.
Edit roles, grantable capability. For example, I want to separate and delegate administration tasks. Okay, the same thing. The same thing was explained in clear about this capability, edit role grantable capability. So edit role grantable is also one of the capability available in capabilities. If you see here, there are many available capabilities, and edit role grantable capability is one of the capability. What is this edit role grantable is doing? It is helping us to edit the roles. So when I'll tell you. Okay, now usually what is happening? Users will be not users. Admins will be having all the privileges so that they can provide access to a user or to power user or to a specific role in to inheritance also, and capabilities also. Everything a admin can create, and a admin can provide access to each and every user as required. But if you are giving edit role capability, anyone can edit the roles.
Yeah.
Issues to consider: with edit roles and edit user capabilities, users can promote self to full admin role.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Because yeah, he can get access to admin also. If he is getting access to admin, then he can edit anything. So issues to consider. And want to restrict grantable capabilities only to the level sub admins currently you have. That means to avoid such things, you can add edit role grantability access so that they can get only sub admin role. That means subset of admin usually will not give this edit role grantable access also. And edit roles edit user is also a issue when you provide all these capabilities. Usually we don't prefer, but if you really want to know more about capabilities, or if there is any specific capability that you want to provide to a user, then you can go into Splunk docs and know about that specific capability. Then you can provide access. Users are more concerned about the indexes they are seeing in Splunk. They only need read access to a specific indexes. And if they want to create any dashboard, at that time they'll be asking us access to different knowledge objects. Different knowledge objects means either it can be a lookup, a macro. If they want that to be used in dashboard, they'll ask access to those. But usually they'll never ask any access or any capability, because they are not so perfect in Splunk, and they'll ask only access to a specific index that they want to see their data in Splunk. Edit roles grantable capability. How the access is provided is showing from admin. If you see, add new role user admin, inheritance power user, capabilities he has given edit roles grantable edit user. Usually will not give, but in the settings, if you go in access controls and then if you go in users, you can add this. Initially we have seen the roles, how to add a new role, but now we are seeing how to add a new user.
Okay,
If you see in the right side.
Okay, 1 second. Can you go back? I was following and then you changed the screen. Can you go back to the other one? Add new. Okay. Yeah, here. 1 second. So, okay. No, go back. Yes, this one. 1 second, please. So admin, okay. Then can be only assign limited roles to users. Oh, okay. And access control. Okay, perfect. I get it.
Okay. Now we have seen inheritance, capabilities, and now indexes, how they are getting access to a specific index. Here also it is showing up with all the indexes available in Splunk on the left side. So if you see, first two are important and they have all non-internal indexes and all internal indexes. All non-internal indexes means usually will not provide this indexes capability to anyone, because if you are giving all non-internal indexes, uh, if you are giving this access to a user, what he can do is like whatever the indexes present in Splunk, he can search everything. Non-internal means whatever the indexes we have created. And internal indexes means the default indexes like underscore internal, audit, introspection, fish bucket, summary indexes. All these indexes will come under all internal indexes. We'll definitely avoid the first two, and then we'll provide access to only the specific index what they really want, not providing each and everything. That is what he has explained here. And defining index access options. See, whatever I have told, he has provided. Most important index setting. This is most important index settings is